It's days to go before the sixth edition of Women's Big Bash League kicks off. Hello and welcome to Avnir Presents The Outside View part by WTF Sports, where I have Yash and Ananya, and we look at the tournament. First up, the big picture. The entire tournament is going to be played in Sydney, and it's going to be a biosecure bubble that the teams are going to be in. So, Ananya, would you like to tell us about the mindset that players would have when they are in a biosecure bubble like this?
I think it's going to be interesting. I mean, the England players have been in a bubble, understand what it's like, but what the organizers have said, is that they've tried to, Sydney Olympic Park is a big area, so they've tried to make sure that the players have enough entertainment, are able to access different areas of the park, and I suppose it's not going to be as confined as we envision a bubble to be. So I think it's going to be interesting in terms of how the teams cope. They're not going to be traveling. They're going to be playing at, 5 venues in the same city. So it's going to be, I think, experience is going to win out. So, the teams will have to stick together, and winning is going to be key, because when you win, it's easier to stick together. When you lose, it's harder. You don't like the faces you're seeing. So it's going to be an interesting 35 days, I think.
35 days, 59 matches, and yet all these games are in one city, that is Sydney. And that, as Ananya said, that cuts down on travel time. But how all the games are, of course, spread across 5 venues. So, Yash, do you think as the tournament progresses, we'll start seeing tired pitches or something like that?
Yeah, that's going to be the case. That's the same situation which is happening in the IPL, and it's not going to be a lot different in the Big Bash too. Same cities, five venues: North Sydney Oval, Hurstville Oval, Sydney Showground, Drummoyne Oval, and Blacktown International Sports Park. This will be the venues, and yeah, we will see tired pitches. We'll see slower pitches as the tournament progresses, but it should be interesting. But at the same time, difficult for how the players cope up in the same city, being confined to those biosecure bubble, and playing the tournament.
Right. Let's move on to a segment we like to call Team Talk. One of the biggest questions is, will this be the year of stars? Melbourne Stars have had a big overhaul in terms of their coaching staff, in terms of their captain as well. It's a big import, Meg Lanning. So, Ananya, your top 4 or your assessment of all the teams?
So, first of all, I don't think this is going to be the year of the Stars. It may be their year because they make the top 4 for the first time, but I don't think they're going to win it. So, my top 4 are going to be Sydney Sixers, Melbourne Stars, Perth Scorchers, and Melbourne Renegades.
All right. What does your top 4 look like, Yash? Please tell me there are Melbourne Stars there.
I do not agree with Ananya on that pointer. I think so. Melbourne Stars will lift the trophy this year. Lanning finally, after a lot of T20 World Cup, she'll finally lift the WBBL trophy also. So, and the other 3 would be, I agree with 2 of her picks, the Sydney Sixers. They do make, and the Scorchers do make, but the 4th team I think so would be the Adelaide Strikers and not the Renegades. Yeah, that's going to be my top 4. What's going to be your top 4?
That's tough actually, because Stars and Thunder are my perennial favorites. So those 2 make it. But just on the strength of their squads and their history, Sydney Sixers have to be there, and my 4th might probably be an Adelaide Strikers who might sneak in. These are my top 4. All right, let's move on to a segment we like to call Spotlight. Yes, let's start with you first. Your top 5 players to watch out for in this tournament.
So I haven't picked the big names, as they call it. So my top 5 would be Annabelle Sutherland. She's had great year. Sophie Molyneux, both with the bat and ball, and how she can fit into that top order of Renegades, play in the top 4, as well as bowl spin. So she is one of the performers to watch out for me. Ash Gardner is another performer. I think so. Talia Magra, we recently saw her making her ODI debut, finishing that innings pretty well for Australia. So she is one, and I would like to see a good all-round performance from Heather Graham. So these are my top 5.
What about you, Ananya? Tell me, it has your favorite Mignon du Preez?
Well, unfortunately, Mignon du Preez doesn't make it this time. So I'm going, this is the year of Ashley Gardner, not the year of Melbourne Stars. So Ashley Gardner, number 1. I'm going with Sarah Glenn. She's coming off cricket. She's done really well. So I think she's going to have a good WBBL. Nicola Carey, my third pick. I think she's gone into Hobart Hurricanes and kind of found her place. She's batting in the top order, bowling, important overs for them. Nicole Bolton, I think she's going to play a very important role. Yes, Perth Scorchers have, the superstars in the top order. But I think coming in that number 4, number 5 slot, she's going to play an important role holding the innings together and also bowling some important overs for them. And finally, I'm going with the veteran, Amy Satterthwaite. I think she's come off really good form in the Australia series with a team that she likes, Renegades, in conditions that she likes. And I think she's going to have a good year.
Right. Then what are your picks, viewers? What are your players to watch out for? Your top 5, your top 6? Do let us know in the comment section. And also, throughout the WBBL, keep an eye on Avnir presents the Outside View part by WTF Sports, because at the end of each weekly wrap, you'll have a question that you can answer and there will be prizes to be won. So don't miss out on that, and also stay safe.